Hello and welcome as I continue to try and find a new introduction for the consistent series, or the only consistent series right now on this channel after me announcing a little bit of a hiatus for Let's Play Ring of Honor. We are here with the final episode of Friday Night SmackDown of 2014, and we are putting the finishing touches on the show with J&J Security having a backstage segment with Seth prior to his match, and then I really don't know what I want to do. If I want to do another segment after the fact, you know what? Let's run this. Let's run this just as, you know, a way to say, okay, there's unfinished business here, and there's still tension, but the unfinished business is gonna have to wait because tonight's show is over. So yeah. Now let me just set up a pre-show match with, let us go with Manu versus, let's go with Manu versus Sami Zayn. Number one, I am well aware that Sami did not make his just made his WWE debut on programming a few weeks ago. Well, there's the difference between games and real life. Real life, you take in perspective of other person, of the person. The game is just based on statistics, and if the person is not going to improve anymore, being in developmental, they want to be promoted, and they will complain and complain and complain until they are promoted. And that was the case for Sami. And that's why Sami and Kevin are on the roster a few months early. Kevin is only on the roster about 4 or 5 months early, but Sami is on the roster for almost a year early. As you saw, that was the pre-show match, and there is, in my opinion, no better way to kick off Monday. Oh, I apologize. There's no better way to kick off this episode of Friday Night SmackDown than with the face that runs the place, John Cena, calling out Kevin Owens and trying to figure out exactly why Kevin cost Cena his shot at Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble when Kevin interfered in the Triple Threat Ladder match this past Sunday night at TLC. So Kevin is called to the ring by John Cena. And Kevin, much like their first, if you can go back to, I want to say, May. I'm trying to remember when Kevin actually debuted. I don't remember. I think it was the early part of the summer. So if you can go back to around then, or somewhere in that area, maybe the late fall, late spring, early summer, and you think about the first times that Kevin and John were actually in the ring together, that's the type of it's a Kevin Owens promo. He basically says he hates John Cena, and he's sick and tired of John being at the top of the mountain and hogging the spotlight, so he's going to take the spotlight away from Cena, and Cena says you can try. Now, basically, the reason why the announcers talk about these guys is because all of them are going to compete tonight. Cena, Randy, Seth, and Ambrose are all in action tonight on SmackDown. And now we move forward with the next match as AJ goes up against Naomi. And in actuality, the reason for this match is simply because last week on Raw, earlier this week on Raw, Naomi fought AJ. Naomi won due to interference from Paige. So, what better way to redeem herself than challenging Naomi again to a rematch, and this time, no Paige. Following her match, AJ cuts a promo on Paige and Natalya, saying basically, Natalya, you deserve the spotlight, we don't. But I don't think it's over between us because I'm coming for you after I'm done with Paige. But Paige, I'm not done with you yet. You think I'm jealous of you? Let me show you what jealousy does to a person. Now we move forward as Paige is backstage with Goldust and Stardust strategizing for their match later tonight between Natalya and Tyson and Cesaro. And now we move forward again as Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso go up against the Ascension. And now I know at least one person's gonna say, why put the Ascension? Why? I guess you're using the Ascension as jobbers like WWE. Look. Not everyone in the WWE universe, not every fan of WWE has the WWE network. Not every fan watches pay-per-views every month, either on with a pay-per-view provider or on the WWE network. Not everybody sees NXT. And I know at least one person's going to say NXT is the only good thing about WWE. That's your opinion. The point of what I'm saying is, the Ascension aren't known by everyone. The Ascension aren't known by everyone. And yes, that is up to me to make it where the Ascension are known by everyone. But it takes time. It takes time. Yes, NXT is a great springboard. And that's the springboard that's being used for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with Sami Zayn's association with Dusty Rhodes. Or through Sami Zayn's association with Dusty. But fact is, not everybody can use it as a springboard, because not everybody will, or not everybody should. And that's where the Ascension come in, and that's why the Ascension are not using it as a springboard. But just because, and by the way, just because they lose one match doesn't mean they're jobbers. So drop it and stop pretending like you know a thing or two, because I'm not pretending. I'm having fun and taking it very seriously in booking. So drop the act and realize not everybody watches NXT, as Mr. McMahon shows up at the arena and we get highlights of TLC. Not everybody watches NXT, not everybody owns the WWE network, and not everybody cares who wins and who loses one match. This isn't the video that I'm going to talk about my opinions on win-loss records in WWE in general. I can do that in a different video, but for right now, let me just say, stop acting like your opinion's the only opinion. It's not. Grow up. As we move forward, I mean, yes, this probably shouldn't be, this isn't the time or the place, but I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. Now we move forward as Seth Rollins talks about what happened last week between him and Kane, and what and how the Wyatt family are involved. And Seth says, can't say it without cracking a smile, but he still says it, that he has no idea why the Wyatts attacked Kane. All he has to say to them, though, is thank you for taking care of his big red problem, because he didn't want to have to do it himself. But other than that, he does not know. He says, I don't know why the Wyatts helped me take care of Kane, and nor do I really want to know, because I don't want to get in the head of Bray Wyatt. Now we move forward after, some might say, a mediocre promo Well, I'm not Seth Rollins, nor do I have the talking ability of a Seth Rollins, so there you go. Now we move forward with the next match. See, one big problem I had in the other Let's Play, it's not a cheap plug, there's a point, is I didn't use some people. I didn't use certain talent. I didn't give certain talent the time of day, a chance, an opportunity, and that's fine because I had 1 hour a week with Ring of Honor. In WWE, I have 5 hours for Raw and SmackDown, an hour for main event, and a half hour for Superstars. So, for somebody to say, or for me to say, I don't have enough time to use talent like Tyler Breeze on national television, I'd be lying. And that's why Tyler is having his match against tonight, that he's having his match tonight against a local talent in Del Monte. And now we move forward. Something that WWE never let him do. And by the way, I totally forgot actually that he was up, which is another reason why I gave him his promo. He falls in another category of Sammy and Kevin, that they weren't going to get any better down in developmental, so I had to bring him up. Otherwise, he was going to be his morale status was going to be very, very, very poor. That's why I brought him up. Because unlike most people who play this game, I actually do care about people's morale status because it affects how they do on screen, and it affects the backstage rating and how other people do on screen. So it's important. It's important to take into account. But either way, how long did you see him? How often did you see him actually cutting promos in real life? Never. That's the reason why I'm giving him promo time, because I feel like he needs it to get people to get to know who Tyler Breeze is and why he's here, what he brings to the table. Yes, it's a 2-minute promo, but he can throw in his catchphrase. He can do a typical NXT promo. Yes, I can't say what a typical NXT promo is for him, but still, Now we move forward back to the broadcast position with Byron and Jerry as they talk about what happened at TLC with Brad Maddox and Vince McMahon, and this brings out Vince McMahon, who it might say there that he's talking about Brad, but I can't make him talk about the hacker. Why? Who's the hacker? Exactly. Fact is, Vince passes along the information that they don't know who hacked Raw last week or last Monday. They didn't find anything at the arena, anything that would lead them to find out who the person is. But they did find a note. And Vince unravels the note, and the note says, "Nice try, Vince. You may not like it when people get one over on you, but you better get used to it, because I am going to keep getting one over on you until I'm good and ready to tell you exactly who I am. So get used to it." And Vince ends the promo basically by saying, if anybody back there has any idea who this person is and they're keeping it to themselves, then they will be just like Brad Maddox and they will get fired. Because nobody gets the better of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Nobody. So slowly but surely things are coming together with the hacker angle. But I will honestly tell you, because I am the one who's controlling the hacker angle, that you will not hear anything about the hacker until closer to the Royal Rumble. Fair? Just a heads up. Now we move to the next segment as Ryback goes into nothing more than a squash match against Brett Pyle, once again a local talent. More of a squash match than the other jobber match that I had earlier tonight with a local talent. I can't. Their name is slipping my mind, and what match it actually was is slipping my mind. But still. Now after that match, Rusev actually comes out to the ring without Lana and grabs a mic, is yelling and screaming in Bulgarian, and he calls out Lana, and Lana comes out, and he's basically saying, he basically says something to the effect of, he starts talking about how dominant he's been, how Lana's played a part in it. I'm not going with that hoity-toity bullcrap that they did after WrestleMania where, Rusev ended up falling for, showing human emotions and not being a monster anymore and blah, 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 blah. Rusev, no hoity-toity emotions, no love triangle, none of that horse crap. I don't care if you like the segment, I don't care if you like the storyline, I didn't. Dolph, Rusev, Lana, Summer Rae, all of them, well, 3 out of the 4 of them, could be a lot more productive, could be held a lot more productive in a different way where they're not a part of that angle. Why? Who gained from that feud? No one. So that's why I'm not going to do it. Yes, I'm talking 6 months from now, but still, I'm telling you, because I'm thinking long term, I'm not doing it. And this has nothing to do with their segment, but what this has to do with is Rusev basically saying they've hit hard times, and he's ready to change things up and put everything on the line because he tells Rob Van Dam he wants a rematch for the Royal Rumble for the United States title, and if he loses, Rob gets Lana for 30 days as his manager. If you've never heard about this type of angle, that tells me your age. But this used to happen all the time. The reason why it stopped is because managers stopped being relevant. But Rusev basically challenges Rob Van Dam for his title, where Rob puts up his title and Rusev puts up Lana, and if Rob wins, he retains the title and gets Lana for 30 days. So there you go. Of course, Rob doesn't come out because that segment is meant for everyone to be focused on those guys. That's it. See, this is where I hate the game, because realistically, Natalya could never pin Goldust. Not because a woman can't pin a man. Actually, a woman cannot touch a man in an intergender tag team match in WWE. Because if a woman can touch a man can't touch a woman. And that's why they just don't do it, because it's not realistic. So instead of Natalya winning, let's say Cesaro did. The underhanded tactics, miscommunication between the Dust brothers. And the reason for miscommunication is this. After the match, Goldust and Stardust are arguing over who caused them to lose, and it just seems like a simple argument, and they basically say they'll get, everything will be fixed next week, when they get a chance to redeem themselves. Let's put it that way. Now we move forward as the announcers, as a graphic pops up on the screen that next week on Raw, Miz TV with his guest, the Wyatt family. But now we move backstage. The Miz is with Stephanie, walks into Stephanie's office and basically says, "Steph, I can't interview the Wyatts. Don't you remember a few weeks ago, Luke Harper almost ripped my head off when I fought him in the ring. I barely escaped with my career from facing the Wyatts. I can't interview him. Oh, fine, Miz. You don't want to continue building the brand that is Miz TV. Maybe I can find another talk show host to fill in for you. What are you talking about, Steph? We're having a segment, an interview segment with the Wyatts this Monday night, with or without you. So I'm giving you till Monday to make up your mind. Are you going to swallow your pride and suddenly become the confident Miz that we know you are? Or are you going to be the coward you become and not interview the Wyatts and let somebody else do it? You have until Monday night to let me know. In all honesty, the point of that segment is to plant the seeds for the Miz's WrestleMania match, which you will find out who the Miz is right now projected to face at WrestleMania this Monday night. And now we move to the next segment with Dean Ambrose going up against Dolph Ziggler. In all honesty, I felt the match was going to get a little bit better. Kind of disappointed that it didn't get better. But still, Ambrose won. Ambrose is continuing his winning ways. His momentum continues to increase. One might ask why I'm letting Ambrose win. You'll find out eventually. You will find out eventually. Now Seth is with JJ Security backstage talking about the main event, with Seth Rollins going up against teaming up with Kevin Owens against Randy Orton and John Cena. Think about that main event. Randy Orton and John Cena against Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and think about the relevance that match brings to the table. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Oh my gosh. What a crappy main event. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It seems like every week on Raw we do good, but when it comes to SmackDown we do crap. This really wasn't that good. Okay. After separating and running away with their tails between their legs, Seth and Kevin have a stare down with Randy and Cena, who are still in the ring, because of course the show has to end with the babyfaces in the ring celebrating with the fans. And you can feel the tension, the building tension with both Kevin and Seth again versus Randy and Cena. This shows me why that Randy and Cena and Seth and Kevin, that this can't be a tag team match. But singles matches maybe could work. So at least we didn't only lose popularity in regions. We did gain popularity in 18 regions, but we also lost it in 16. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, that means I gained it in 2. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's wrong. Well, of course I don't know if it's wrong, because I don't know if it's right, but yeah. But, I mean, all in all, I think it was a better show than I've done with SmackDown in recent weeks. Still has a lot of room for improvement, but I think it's better than it's been. So it's a start. But yeah, I don't. By the way, the final rating was a 70. I just realized that it's out of the video shot. So it's a pretty mediocre rating for a national company, but I still think it's better than it's been. But let me know in the comment section below what your favorite part of the show was, what your least favorite part of the show was, what you think I could have done better, and what you would have done different. Because feedback is welcomed, and don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video, or subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time. Later.